induced
gonna have to bang
vibration,
the
so
gavel.
we're not super
Call this
happy
meeting to
about
order.
that.
As you
Oh,
are able and
that's a
willing,
cool-
please stand for the pledge.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, thank you all for coming. We have had no one sign up to deliver public comment tonight, so we'll move right into the report of the secretary. May I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes of our last regular meeting?
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of Wednesday, April 1st, 2026.
I'll second, Lisa.
Lisa, thank you. Comments, questions?
Gorgeous.
It's
great.
Gorgeous as usual. Okay, in that case, all in favor? That is 5-0, and we have approved minutes. Motion, please, to approve the minutes of our special agenda meeting of Monday, April 6th.
I move to approve the minutes from the special agenda meeting of Monday, April 6, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Comments or questions? All in favor? That's 5-0. Thank you. We have minutes. That moves us into the report of the chair. I have a few things to talk about. Start with the budget workshop that we just conducted. We had our third and final budget workshop. We looked at the cost centers, the high school, the middle school, co-curricular, and the central office stuff. We had lots of good discussion. This was a pretty robust discussion. Of note was that we looked closely in the high school budget at the cost of AP testing, and we've asked that some money be moved around to cover all AP test costs. So I don't mean to supersede the report you're going to give us later, but we took note of it when we got it, and we've taken some action. We also had a very robust discussion about the soccer program and how there's some kids got their hearts broken last fall, and we're going to take steps to address that going forward. Good workshop. That was the first thing. Second thing, we were supposed to have a town officials meeting this morning, but it never got scheduled. So I think we're attempting to set one up for April 28th. Right?
April 29th. Wednesday.
Sorry, did I say 28th?
Wednesday, April 29th.
29th, thank you.
Yep.
April 29th. So look for the invite on that. And then the one after that, the next scheduled one is May 13th. We'll see where we go from there.
There had been a request from South Berwick to not have it be the second Wednesday. It was tough for them, so we intended to move it to third Wednesday. That's how come it got missed this month, because the third meeting switch never happened. So we can look at maybe that third week in May.
Yep. Okay, very good, thank you. Third, my final superintendent search update. This is a pleasure. We have completed our superintendent search. The minutes of that special meeting of April 6th that we just approved included the note that the board had authorized me to enter into contract negotiations with Dr. Caroline Erekalian, who has joined us tonight. She is our new superintendent. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're delighted to have you. Okay, fourth thing, it's not on the agenda, if you'll forgive me, I meant to put this in. I did want to give a brief update on the National School Boards Association annual conference down in San Antonio that I attended over the weekend. Lots of really good presentations. I have 4 pages of notes that I will make available to you all so you can go through them. But there were a couple of things that I did want to point out. There was a really good session that I attended entitled Architects of Success, the Board's Influence on Superintendent Leadership, that the presenter said the title's a lie. The actual title is Mistakes Superintendents Make. So it was very funny from that perspective. But it really was a matter of what, the lines between superintendent and board, and it was an excellent presentation. I took away from it one joke that I wanted to bring to you all. How many board members does it take to screw in a light bulb? And the answer is none. It's the board's job to say, let there be light. And it's the superintendent's job to make sure the light bulb gets screwed in.
That's
And that's such a good analogy for our work.
That's really
There was
good.
an excellent session on restorative leadership given by the Valley Stream Middle and High School District in Long Island. They talked about some of the things that they went through for getting that established. The takeaway for me was their point about the board's role being endorsing the program, connecting to the mission and vision of the district, funding professional development for restorative practices and board training and ongoing community. So that was a really good presentation. I'll make the notes available. The National Student Board Member Association did a session that I attended. Connor Moykins from Orono High School is their current what's his title? I think it's something like executive president or something of that organization. And he talked about his experience with student reps up there. They have honorary voting rights. And that's something that I want our board to look at.
Oh, interesting.
I asked him to explain to me why he thought honorary voting rights were actually useful rather than just symbolic. And he said because the way they do it is they have the student board members vote first and discuss their rationale for their votes before the rest of the board votes. So there's input to the board.
Ultimately,
Um,
student
Fabulous.
voice, yes.
Fabulous.
They don't participate in executive sessions or voting on personal matters or anything like that, but I think that's something we ought to look at, and the opportunity for us to look at it will be in June when we update our bylaws.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
So
Smart.
let's be thinking
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to get our student board members even more engaged.
I love that.
There's more, but
Great,
I'll put the notes on the drive and share them with you.
that's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and that concludes my report. Brings us to the report of the superintendent.
Thank you. So we have a packed agenda tonight. First thing on my report is a presentation about Skills USA, and Riley Smith is here to share some information with all of us about her experience and her team's experience at Skills USA. And yeah, Riley, take it away. Yeah. Do you have a presentation that needs to get projected?
Yeah, we got it on this one.
Okay, okay.
I think so. Riley, I'd ask that you speak at the microphone.
Yeah.
When you do speak, you know that, right? It won't amplify your voice in the room, but it will put
It's
your
being
voice out.
recorded, so they
It's
can
on
only
the
hear
live
you.
stream.
It's a live stream.
Yeah.
So you might stand at the microphone when you speak. Thank you.
So, hi, I'm Riley Smith. I'm currently a senior at Marshwood High School, and I'm part of the digital design program at Sanford. I was fortunate enough to be elected as the president of Skills USA for our local Sanford chapter this year, so I really appreciate all of you taking the time to come hear me talk about it. So, for those of you who don't know what Skills USA is, Skills USA is an organization that provides technical school students, like those at Sanford, the opportunity to compete in a competition-like setting with the skills that we learn in our programs. It also provides you an opportunity to connect with other students from different technical schools across Maine and across the nation, really. It's really interesting. You would never have met these people. I met people from Caribou, Maine. I didn't even know that was a place. So it was really cool getting to interact with a bunch of people who had the same passions that I did. And it also gives you a lot of professional experience, so it works on resumes, public speaking, preparation, interviews, anything professional that you can think of, it gives you the opportunity to do that. And winners of the competition, at the state level at least, get to go and compete at nationals, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but oftentimes there are very big prizes, like scholarships, or they'll give like toolboxes to people in, say, auto collision, stuff like that. So now I want you to meet our officer team. So as I said, I'm Riley Smith. I'm the Skills USA president. Last year I was the secretary for the program, but I decided that I wanted to step it up a little bit this year. This is our vice president, Macy. She's in the law enforcement program, and she is a senior at Sanford High School. Our secretary is Matthew Melvin, He is also a senior at Sanford High School, and he's in the architectural and engineering design program.
Cool.
Our treasurer is Rachel Tangway. She's also a senior from Sanford, and she is in the digital design program with me. Our media person is Connor Wilcox. He's a homeschooled senior in the electrical wiring program. Our parliamentarian is Ellie Gagnon. She is a senior in the law enforcement program at Noble. We have a couple of officers who step in where they need to, so we call them at large. This is our first one. Her name is Madison Penny. She's a junior at Sanford High School, and she's in the auto collision and repair program.
Cool.
And then our other at large is Casey Davidson. She's a senior at Noble High School and is also in the digital design program. So we've done a lot of stuff this year, way before the competition even started. The competition that we went to was March 12th through 13th, but we started doing stuff probably around October, November. So a lot of prep goes into this competition, but a lot of it is getting the students that are interested in skills and the students that are on the officer team experience in these leadership roles. So we planned a holiday party with the Sanford Stars program. We put it on, we coordinated busing, food, activities. That was mainly the officer team. It was amazing. We had movies, we had cookies, we had wreath decorating, they got to go in the fire trucks. It was genuinely the best day of their year. It was absolutely heartwarming to see all those kids be able to enjoy something that we made. And then a fundraiser that us as officers did is we made custom cornhole boards. So in our graphic design class, we have the ability to put decals on cornhole boards. So the building trade students made the cornhole boards and we put the designs on them as a fundraiser. Little plug-in, if any of you want a customized cornhole board, please let us know. Then for the students who wanted to compete in Skills USA, we had 2 different fundraisers. So we had scholarship letters, which meant they had to send out or write a letter to a local business or company asking them to sponsor them the $50 that they needed to go to Skills. It was a really good way for them to grow their public speaking and just putting themselves out there in a position that they wouldn't normally do. And then a big part for the officer team was learning how to budget and parliamentary procedure. It's actually very cool seeing how you guys do it here because we do a lot of the same stuff, and so it's interesting seeing it in a different setting. But I've learned so much about how professional meetings are run and how much thought goes into the budget and just planning the meetings in general. So now I want to talk about our state competition. It might take 2 seconds to pull up the website link, so just hold on. So we were fortunate enough to have a student from my class in digital design design the branding for the competition. So that big design up top, she made that. Her name's Harley Robinson, sorry. And that was the branding for the whole state competition, so it was really cool that everybody got to see and wear her design.
That's pretty.
So these are, what is this, the competition one? Or this is the competition winners? So this is a list of all of our competition winners or medalists, and as you can see, we had quite a few.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. Great.
So yeah, we had 104 students that we sent to this competition. And how many students medaled?
51. 51 medals. It'll show up in another slide here.
That's beautiful.
So as I was talking
Beautiful.
about
I love that.
Harley, this is her design. So it was a competition that my entire class had to do. And other graphic design classes, they had to do it as well. And out of all of the people in the state who applied, this was the design that won. So she had to make something that would go on an app cover, something that would go on a t-shirt, a poster, and a banner, and a web design. So the web design was what you saw up top, and that's all the other stuff she made. There's also a pin design that we all got at the end of it, which was really, really cool. But it's,
Wow.
a lot of the time the trades are focused on on what you would think of when you would think of trades, electrical wiring or auto collision, stuff like that. So this really gives the opportunity for people who are interested in graphic design to showcase their skills and show us what we can do with everything. So this is our recognition night, when we recognized, or recognition day when we recognized all the students that were going. That is, the lady speaking is a former skills competitor, and it made so much of a difference in her life. It was just incredible to hear her story and how much confidence it gave her. So these are a couple of pictures, what actually happens in our SRTC classrooms. We have electrical wiring, video production, digital design, architectural design, just a bunch of different stuff. Are you going on?
Yep, working on it.
So this slideshow was made by our director, Matt Peterman, at SRTC. He took a group of 3 students up to Bangor before everybody else because they had a competition earlier that day. So everybody had a great time stopping at the rest stop, grabbing Dunkin' Donuts. Everybody was having a great time.
These 3 students were courtesy corps because the venue is so large. Each school puts in 3 students to help run this, and then they actually have a competition to see who wins. Logistics and that type of thing.
So these were the pictures in front of the buses that we took. There were a lot of kids.
Cool. Wow, beautiful. Nice.
So the opening ceremony for Skills USA is one of the most crazy experiences because everybody is so excited to be there. They've worked all year to get up to the point where they can compete, and so the energy is crazy. Everybody's dancing and yelling and hyping everyone else up, and the energy is something I've never experienced anywhere else. That was Harley receiving her award for her design, and then that was a dinner graciously offered by the culinary program that we got to bring up and have that night.
Beautiful. I love that.
So these were pictures people took during the competition, so these were people actively competing in their skills throughout the day. So after everybody was done their competition, everybody from SRTC went to a Chinese food restaurant that we rented out, and it was absolutely amazing. Everybody got to talk about how their competitions went, and it was more of an opportunity to interact with students that you wouldn't even interact with normally in your school, because you're kind of confined to your classes. I got to talk to kids that I didn't even know beforehand, and now we're really good friends. So just having that opportunity to connect with people was just, it's really hard to describe how amazing it was. So they have a lot of professionals come and present at the opening and closing ceremonies. For the closing ceremony this year, they had a military representative come because they're very big about people joining the National Guard and using their trades in the skills, their skills in the trades to help them.
all of the contest winners that we had. We only put up what we had up here. So courtesy core is the 3 that went up earlier. We ended up getting bronze medal. I'm just going to go through these quickly. Hello, I'm Mr. Fecto, the Skills USA advisor and Sanford electrical wiring teacher. So all of these slideshows, Mr. Peterman graciously puts all this together. We could have probably put, obviously, Marshwood students into this. We did end up having the total at the end of the slideshow here, we'll show you. But this is all the medals. We got 51 medals total, 18 gold. Gold winners that are not state or that are national winners have an opportunity to go out to nationals, which she'll talk about in a little bit. We end up taking, I think, 12 silver and I think 16 bronze. So I'm extremely proud of all the students that went up and put their heart and soul into this.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Excuse me, how many
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
regional tech centers are there in Maine that participated in this?
There are 27.
27.
27 CTEs. They vary in what programs they do.
Sure.
Obviously in Caribou, there's not as many as Southern Maine or York County or even Southern Maine. So 27, yeah, and we're growing, obviously.
Thank you.
And the even more interesting part about that is that there are, it's not just high school students. There's a middle school competition the day before ours, and there's a college competition after ours. So you really do get to see everybody in different stages of their careers.
Great, thank you.
Nice job.
Yeah, thank you.
So we had 18 Marshwood students attend, and 7 of them medaled.
Wow.
We had 1 student from Marshwood get gold. Asa Lane was our gold medalist. I wish I had these stats memorized, I'm sorry.
Great.
We got
Yeah.
back,
Thank you.
we got back pretty late, but it was snowing in March at like midnight, so that was pretty, it was beautiful until you had to drive in it.
Thank you.
So we're sending 7 students to nationals. They're from June 1st to the 6th in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if you want to go into more detail about that.
Sure, I can just answer questions if anyone has any questions for Riley or myself.
How long has this program been part of the SRTC?
It's, you would ask me that. Started in 1965, I think, is when it was started, and it's called VICA. So vocational.
60 years.
Something, I can't remember. But it's been for quite a while, and the whole idea behind it was to give students an opportunity to compete and to learn the social skills. So that's what I take out. I've been doing it for 18 years now. I took a couple of years off. When I came back 2 years ago with Riley as secretary, my goal was to start working on the officer team. So it's a student-led organization, CTSO. And the goal for me is to have students have that power, that carrot. There's nothing like giving them the opportunity to count money, fundraise. Back in the day, we used to run a food truck for the Sanford Mainers in town. And why? Because we needed to raise money. It cost us $30,000 roughly to send 104 kids students, to Bangor for an overnight trip. So it's not, it's a lot of money. But the benefits so outweigh it. I took away from the States this year, the biggest thing I took away was not everything, there's quite a few things that went wrong this year. Imagine that, 104 kids, right? So what I was taking away from it was I was getting frustrated with myself and how can we make this better? And then it dawned on me 2 days later, I'm like, you know what, they need to see me, us, we, everything, and all the stuff that does go wrong and how you handle it, because you can easily just blame others. So I took that away. a lot this year, which is great. Now we're transitioning to the Nationals, which this year happens to be earlier due to the World Cup coming to the States this year. They bumped us forward, which makes it hard because we actually had 18 medalists, right? We could have sent, I think, 14 students out, and because of graduation, they decided not to go. So unfortunately, that's not going to happen. 7, but a few juniors and then seniors that have offset or decided to go are going to go out and take this opportunity to showcase. So it's great because they'll get job offers, they'll have so much to put on their resume. So it's great for kids. But specifically for Riley, I can't tell her enough. I'm going to do it publicly. I try to just put onto the plate, here you go, here's something else. And she stepped up to the plate big time, coming in as president and just communicating. And obviously, we all want more, but very, very proud of what she's done. And thank you very much, appreciate it.
As are we.
Yes, thank you, Riley. Good job.
Any questions? I can't thank you enough for your support too. I know you guys just had the superintendent's meetings at SRTC coming around. Come down and see our programs. We're wanting to showcase what we do every day. And luckily for me, one of my students won gold, and we're hoping to go out and hopefully win some hardware. But the amount of support's amazing, so it's really great.
Great.
Thank you for coming here tonight.
Thank
Yes,
you
absolutely.
so much.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Riley.
Congrats.
Listening to us.
Thank you so much. Don't feel like you have to stay for the rest of the meeting.
Yeah, Next up, Mr. Scully is here to give us a little update on our ELO program. And he has someone with him, yay.
Awesome.
No, we're just gonna stare at you.
It's a long shift, yeah, it's long. Yeah,
Oh, you did?
I knew last year. He said it was his last year,
Oh.
right? Like, for 2 years, basically.
So,
Yes. Heartbreakingly
thank
sad,
you. It's great to see some familiar faces and some new faces. Welcome, Doctor. And our first meeting, I'm not going to publicly try to pronounce your... If you saw my lips move, I was literally practicing. So, but welcome aboard, and if anyone wants to invite me back for another presentation to thank our outgoing superintendent, I'd be happy to for amazing. So, Rogan is going to jump in a minute, and I did that on purpose so he can have the airtime, but I can't resist a couple slides about the extended learning opportunities. The theme is in the air. What just happened with Riley was unbelievable, and this is a variation of that theme. And the theme is unbelievable things are happening in the classroom. Extend is intentional. We're extending that learning into authentic experiences, and whether it's the vocational or whether we're doing it a little bit closer to home in the ELO. So just in case you forgot, the only foundational thing that we'll share and everything else is going to be new, because we're at that point of our evolution in the ELO program that we're on that, almost like that critical mass year 3, where really the rubber is hitting the road and the growth and the experiences are really great. But just a reminder, an extended learning opportunity ELO is a standards-based credit-bearing learning experience that occurs outside the traditional classroom, is customized to a student's interests, needs, goals, and provides opportunity for authentic, relevant application of knowledge and skills. And again, just our little glossary, the types that we offer and have been building out They have shape-shifted a little bit, which learning over the last 3 years, and we're settling in on these as our primary independent study, project-based learning, digital learning, service learning, volunteering, work study, job shadow, internships, and pre-apprentice programming. So just a couple hopes and dreams for tonight. We'd really like to share how we do it, and so kind of the right tool for the job. So we'll just share a little bit of a platform we use called Pathful. It's a virtual college career life readiness exploration planning platform. So foundationally, if you come in and you're thinking about an ELO, we'll go here first, because students will say everything from, I would like to be a lawyer and I want to study merger and acquisitions and I want to work on this firm. Like, I'm like, I've been doing this for 30-something years and I can't even answer my question that specifically. So we have that part of the spectrum. And then we have literally, I'm not sure. I think it's, so regardless of where you are, Pathful allows us to start exploring beyond, oh, that's great, you should look into that. Or, hey, I have some pamphlets for you. It's really interactive. We also want to share who is doing what. So I kind of have had this as an approach over the years, you know, trust your instincts. Our instinct says this is something that we need. This is something that we should have. This is where we should be leaning, at least as part of what we offer students. But along the way, look at the data. Because, you know, I also trusted my instincts and bought a yellow Jeep years ago, and I got to the end of the part and I was like, what am I doing? I was much too old for me. So trusting my instincts is not always great, so we want to make sure we look at the data. So we'll share some numbers to help tell our stories, and we're going to do why we do it, and that why is Rogan, student voice and agency, and we'll hear from Rogan, who's in the field. So just a little bit of the numbers. We prioritize engagement, experience, skill development, post-secondary. So those are the things that we're tracking right now, but we're also very conscious of, it's at the end of this slide. We're also very conscious of access and equity. We quite literally have applied for grants and received grants where we said 100% of our students want access. And access doesn't mean we have 100% of students at, you know, Jones's Automotive doing, it is we are able to at least start engaging in the thought process, and that's kind of what Pathful allows us to do, and we've been kind of recognized, Marshwood has, for the grant proposals that we've put in. Goals and outcomes, and we also want to make sure we align to some standards. So just a couple things right now on the books, 9, 10, 11, 12, we're top heavy because we began as kind of a career exploration program. That was the original grant. Literally work and paid experiences for students. So now we're very excited to start moving into whole school. We just presented to the 9th grade advisory this year, and I had 2 meetings before the end of the day with 9th graders who are interested in doing so. So those numbers will shift a little bit, but we're at 62 right now. They break down this way, where internships, job shadows, work study experiences are where a majority are. The independent study could be everything from a student wants to learn a world language that we don't offer, to a little bit more field-based where we partner with an outside agency and do some you know, kind of scientific research. Project-based learning, digital learning, service learning, so that's kind of how the pie shapes out. I did mention this, Ro, could you do me a huge favor? You those there, and by the time you come back, you can... Every student gets an individualized learning plan. And so, essentially, you can refer to that. I might make some comments, and you can look down and see what it looks like. But we sit with every student and individualize their learning plan. We probably, in our 62 students, have 40 or 50 different topics, and so regardless of any similarities, every student is a little bit different. So the learning plan's in front of you. That's a draft plan that's actually being worked out this spring. So Rogan's about to jump in. I'm just going to share the tool that we mentioned called Pathful. There's a little bit of data with it. I'm going to log in as a teacher. You'll get my view. So that's our number of hours, primarily in the field. So we're able to track students in the field. So we're over 2,000 hours of different student experiences. The NIC, for example, like Rogan is out in the field, and so what students do is when they, you can even want to hop in on that, when they're out in the field, they track their dates, when they are in the field, and then there's this one. So they track when they're in the field for the hours, but most importantly, you'll look at the learning plan, you'll see students have goals. There's an experience summary, and you'll see in the learning plan there's actually, we align each ELO to the main career life and readiness standards. So what we do with the reflections is we track those goals and those standards. So I'll turn it over to Rogan to explain what happens in the field.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Rogan Boisvert. I'm a senior here at Marshwood in Mr. Scully's ELO program. Before I give my little spiel, I just wanted to say that when I first got here at Marshwood, I was not aware of like whether it's VOC or whether it's Mr. Scully's ELO program. Like, I think there's an increasing amount of opportunities to kind of get more career-oriented, kind of getting your hands dirty, whether that's literally in like the automotive department or that's just kind of getting your foot in the door at an office or making some connections, which is kind of more what I'm doing. But I just think it's been really cool to see kind of all the new experiences and opportunities people are getting here at Marshwood to kind of get out into the world and get some experience and kind of what the VOC people said that you could put on your resume and just kind of get a head start. So what I do, I have a job shadow at Prime Buchholz, which is a financial firm in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And what they do there is basically work as the middleman between the investors, the people with a lot of money, and the managers, which are like the people and companies who manage the money. And then they kind of connect clients with certain managers based on like what the investors are looking for. And then we, or not with the firm I'm at, evaluates the managers and will maybe recommend a manager to certain clients or kind of just evaluate how they're doing. So that's one of the reflections, or part of one of the reflections I did recently, just kind of geared more towards what's happening now in the world with AI and how that's affecting private credit. And so I kind of just wanted to show you like on a normal day what I might do. So I go into the office, I walk up to my supervisor's office, walk through the office, and she has her own private little like cube thing so we can close the door, talk about stuff that I have questions about. And so on this day I kind of did some stuff about AI, and I wasn't really too sure what private credit was, so that was the subject we were working on that day, so I kind of did some research about that. And so it's basically when like companies will take a loan from either an investor or like a instead of going to a bank or like using bonds, which gives them more flexibility, where they can maybe have less rules or regulations and get better rates. But with AI recently, that's being affected a lot because obviously AI, private credit, a big part of private credit is in the AI field and in the software industries and the SaaSs. which is software as a service businesses. So those are getting heavily affected right now by AI, which is kind of affecting how private credit is working in that kind of department. So kind of just learning about stuff like that. I know probably none of that made that much sense, but it's just really getting the in-person experience has been super valuable to me. Like getting this job shadow through Mr. Scully. Like I know I want to do something with finance or business in college, so it's kind of just like been super helpful to get my foot in the door and just yeah, get that hands-on experience and be in the office and yeah, so it's just been awesome.
Maybe how often you go?
Yeah, okay.
Just
Yeah,
some of those
more the nuts and bolts. Yeah, so I go 2 days a week. We have the block schedule here at Marshwood, so it's alternating. Like 1 week I'll go Monday, Wednesday. The next week I'll go Tuesday, Thursday. So it's two days a week I usually go for about 2 hours, give or take. I do have to get back to school for practice, so sometimes it gets cut a little bit short, but it's trying to keep it around the 2 hours or so. So I kind of have my study hall that I get for doing ELO that gets implemented into my schedule. Then I get to leave school, like, I think it's like an hour and a half early, so then I drive over to Portsmouth and have about an hour or two to work there with my supervisor, and she usually has something made up for me that we're focusing on for that day. So yeah, it's about 2 days a week, so around 5 hours a week, and then I do the reflection after to kind of just make sure the stuff sticks with me.
Yeah, any questions for Rogan?
Thank you, good job.
Thank you.
I did follow that, by
Yes,
the way.
Really? Oh, yeah.
It was very well explained.
Surprise.
Yeah, well done. And that's saying a lot.
So just to kind of finish up, so I have the luxury of literally 62 times having the biweekly or weekly meetings where we look at their reflection, and then it's a student co-designed curriculum essentially, and they're learning what they think is necessary. We're able to guide them a little bit, but how often Rogan uses the expressions during his reflections, what I learned, what I now understand, I was able to talk to, I was able to see, that's what we're trying to create. And so we, Rogan, of course, is in an investment place. We have students placed in various areas, but I also don't want to discount, we have students who don't have to even leave the building. Olivia is going to join me at a presentation, Olivia Wood's going to join me at a presentation later this month at the state, who's written a novel. Wow. Quite literally, 100,000 words, and she's developing her own way to revise her novel. She's in the process of revising the novel. So what the future holds, participation, this is a little bit of the evolution of kind of the last 3 years, our numbers and the potential growth. That's projected for next year, as I have about 49 students in our ELO Google Classroom that we're designing for fall. So you can even see it. So what they did the first year, not even really hearing about it, stumbling down during the course of the year. Now we're getting before they head out. And a lot of it has to do with the Kyles of the world, who should also be thanked for being as a TC presentation. So we're really excited about that growth. Also, the future holds our program of studies right now just has ELO career exploration class. By next year, we really would like to have the ELO pathway program. So in ELO, career exploration, and then the career pathways. And quickly, the pathways program under ELO is what we are creating. Their structured, pre-designed learning, obviously agile to adjust to the individual, experience offered annually that connects students to real-world career skills and industry pathways. Those are the internships, job shadows, aligned to post-secondary education, workforce readiness. Great news about community college now. We can do dual enrollment and get a head start in those things. We're also partnered with local employees. Our local partnerships are growing. And an example is our industrial trades pathway. For example, the shipyard, huge employer. We work with them very, very closely with visits and job shadows and resume writing and mock interviews. And they're really ready to hire. And we have similar with Pratt Whitney that we have done over the years and are doing currently, where those will be year to year, we can count on those. So we don't have to build it from scratch. So that's another thing. And kind of to finalize, we've always taken a systems approach. ELOs are wonderful all over the state, but sometimes they exist in a vacuum and they're siloed. From the beginning of this, we wanted it to be kind of made from the ground up. We didn't want it to be the question, should we have an ELO program? We wanted it to be the answer, how should we serve kids and what do students need to be college career life ready, ELO. So to that end, we like to feel our ELO program is an active, high-impact extension of our advisory bar and Vision of the Graduate initiative, providing authentic real-world learning experience. In other words, Dr. Gowers is leading some wonderful work around advisory redesign, the bar program, Vision of the Graduate, and we, from the ELO office, sit at each one of those tables to say, how can we support you? What can we do? And how are we an answer to some of the things that you're looking for? And one example is project-based learning, professional development. Last summer, we offered professional development and project-based learning. Our Vision of the Graduate, our NEAS committee gave that as an area of growth. We had some money, so the ELO program helped support teachers in their project-based learning capacity. Regionally, we conceptualized and we facilitate the York County ELO Collaborative. We have 10 schools from York County, 13 representatives, and that's just a big, what are you doing? Can I do it with you? Here's what we're doing. Do you want to come along? And it's just as grants and stuff are always going to be out there, but maybe not as much. We feel like the strength is going to be creating collaboratives. So much so that tomorrow I'll be invited to Jobs for Maine Graduate is holding a, hey, how can we create regional cohorts in the state? And they're inviting us to talk to them about what we're doing in York County. And so one thing that comes from this is the College Career Connections Fair. May 1st, York County Community College, Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. Kids from all those 10 schools will go and see everything the shipyard has to offer, tour YCCC, the correlating associate's degrees or workforce development that they can take. They'll be interviewed, mock interviewed by people from the shipyard, and they'll be supported from people from YCCC in their resume writing workshop. So that came from our strength as a collaborative. And then last but not least, I co-chair Maine C3, which is a statewide ELO coordinators organization, and that is just another concentric circle that brings us resources and brings us some power. An example of things that we did from that, Bring Back the Trades, really strong in New Hampshire. It's an organization that's supporting no-cost students getting into the trades. They wanted to get into New Hampshire. I heard about them and invited them, and they jumped on to our Maine 3 meeting, and they're actually presenting in South Portland next month. So they're going to be another great resource in Maine. And we'll be going to the Hall of Flags the end of April with a few ELO students to present, be part of that presentation. And I think what it does is it helps us with these takeaways. So last couple takeaways. The growth and increasing diversity of our ELO program reflects what students want and need. Extending already wonderful classroom into post-secondary readiness, learning directly with future plans, connects with our community, workforce needs. And then we feel like we're seeing that a broader statewide shift toward career-connected, authentic learning, and our school is not only aligned with this movement, but I think we're kind of emerging as a leader in that realm. So Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr.
Questions? Yeah.
As you're growing this program, the job shadowing and apprenticeship and the opportunities that are available, both the number and the kind of them that are available in the area, is that growing for you as well? Is that being a limiting factor, or?
So I think I'm understanding your question is that is there people meeting the need? Does that make
In the
sense?
community, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're in pretty
Businesses.
good, we're in pretty good shape, and we really deliberately grew because we didn't want to come out so fast with everyone had these wonderful ideas and then we couldn't meet it. So our deliberate, very kind of strategic growth, if that makes sense, top heavy the first year or so with paid experiences where the partner knew what they were getting into. Also, it was during a time, I think we all remember, where places were saying they're standing up straight, we'll see them Tuesday. So there was a little bit of that, people were hiring like crazy, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Now it's a little bit more, hey, I have folks who we've prepared, are you looking? So yeah, it's very deliberate, our growth. It will be an issue next year, I think, by this time.
I had kind of the same question. I was wondering, like, what percentage of placements are coming from student versus from us versus the community coming toward us, so that kind of overlaps. But I was also wondering, as your program grows, in the last 3 years, we've doubled the number of students that are in the program, or even tripled. Do you feel like you have enough resources within the school to support all the students, to check in and see how things are
Yeah,
going?
great question. Also thoughtful from the beginning, and Heidi was there, and Renee Doucette at the beginning, making that original grant. We, from the start, wanted to be part of the system, so we've stipended through grant, which I don't think that's going to be hard to maintain off in the grant world. Some ELO mentors, that training for project-based learning, and quite frankly, the tool I can manage relatively easily.
Okay.
Our number when that
Great.
tool is so agile, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it does.
Having the right tool,
Yeah.
a couple stipends to offload so that those conversations are more meaningful.
Yeah.
So instead of 82 meetings, maybe I have 50 and somebody else has 10, and
Yeah.
if that makes
Share
sense.
the wealth. It does, yeah. This is so awesome. This is one of the best
Yeah, we're
opportunities for our
pretty
students.
lucky to be
Yeah.
supported.
Right.
Great, thank you.
I just
Thank you.
want to say, oh, go ahead, Lisa.
Sorry,
You first.
can I just say something? This is amazing. I mean, just to think back when I started on the school board, and one of the reasons that I joined the school board is that I was really concerned about student engagement. Really concerned. And I just, from the start, when you shifted into this role and the grant came through and we headed down this path, I never had a doubt that it was going to expand very, very quickly, just because what we know about our kids. They are not all the same. You cannot put them in a box. And to engage students, we have to give them student interest-based learning opportunities. And that is exactly what this is, in addition to so many other things. And then you add on to that relationships, building real life skills that they are going to need to go out into the world. That is just fantastic. I mean, we had kids graduating tenure. They don't know how to write a check. Not that we even have checks anymore, but it's still a skill, right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs to know how to do a resume. Everybody needs to be able to public speak, to understand when to be quiet, when to speak up, when to advocate for yourself, how to use technology. And I just think this is absolutely amazing. One of our biggest goals is student engagement. Another one is engaging our community more. And this just checks all of the boxes. So thank you so much.
Well,
And Kyle,
yeah, and
thank you.
and Dr. and
Yeah.
yeah, and you
And John.
folks. Well, yeah, and
You
John,
know, John and Heidi
you
and-
folks.
yeah.
I'm sure you know, if you're working hard, it's nice to know that when you look up and you look sideways, everyone is saying the same thing. I hope that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it just ties
Yep.
everything
Yeah,
together.
I love
It's
it.
wonderful.
So my job right now is the equivalent of standing, if I was in charge of the ocean and stood on the beach and said, come forward, now go out, like they were just ready. They said,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
And so you're right, and Brooke is a perfect example of that, so, yeah.
Awesome.
Mr.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You didn't get to talk. Okay.
You said lots of great things, that was great. Oh, Brogan, you do not have to stay. I always like to give people the opportunity to leave if they're done.
Come on, this is gonna be the highlight. of
I know,
the-
this is, all righty. So I do have a few more things that should be fairly quick tonight. I did want to just update the public about our health insurance. It's always an interesting challenge when we build the budget to try to accurately estimate what our health insurance increase is going to be. So we did get our number. It's going to be 8.71% increase for next year, which is a higher number than we've seen in many years, but it's a little bit lower than it could have been. We were thinking we might be more in the 13 or 14% range. So the 8.71 feels like we can manage it, and it works well with the budget, so that's a good thing. Next, I wanted to just make the board aware of a couple of MEF grants that have come through recently. We don't go through the same sort of donation process with MEF grants because they just are designed to support the wonderful work our teachers do. But a couple cool things. Recently, we're awarded some larger grants. I know we've done a lot of mini grants in recent years, but there were 2 larger grants that came through last week, both at Elliott Elementary School. One was to support the Trolley Back in Time program that Ann Schisler has shared with you in her updates recently, which is kind of the parallel experience to the Hike Through History, which has happened for years in South Berwick. We're going to be doing a similar program in Elliott this year called Trolley Back in Time, and she's actually contracted with the Seacoast Trolley or the Wells Trolley, I can't remember which one, but they're going to go through stops throughout the community that are historic, and kids are going to be doing that same sort of teaching their peers. It's very cool. So they got a $3,800 grant to support that project. Thank you to Diane Rapucci and Jake Nesbitt for their work writing that grant. And then the kindergarten team at Elliott also wrote a grant, a $3,700 grant, to integrate more nature-based outdoor learning into the kindergarten experience. They'll be working with Ann Stiers, who is the same consultant that helped Great Works really get their work kicked off a few years back. So we're really excited for more opportunities for Elliott Elementary School kids in the outdoor learning area. And thank you to MEF for their support.
Thank you.
Thank you, MEF.
In terms of budget meeting procedures, I'm just going to give my annual budget season board update reminder to the community. Our district budget meeting is May 11th. It's a Monday, not a Wednesday. We'll be here in the gym at 7 p.m. We hope everybody comes. We need everyone's voices in the room. I did want to mention along with that part of that process involves us having ballot clerks available, and so historically we have called upon a lot of our administrative assistants to help us in that ballot clerk role. But we did want to open it up to anybody who's interested. It can be any member who lives in our community, either in Elliott or South Berwick, can serve as a ballot clerk. They just have to be trained. So Mr. Cormier is going to be doing a ballot clerk training on Tuesday, April 21st at 9 a.m. at the central office. And anyone who wants to be a ballot clerk, it's at the high school. I lied, it's at the high school. Not at the central office,
Tuesday,
right here at the high school. Tuesday, April 21st at 9 a.m. here at the high school. If anybody in the community would like to act as a ballot clerk at our May 11th meeting, they are welcome to join us at that training, be trained as a ballot clerk, and volunteer to serve in that capacity, which would be amazing. Okay, number 6. So, Mr. Burnett.
Oh, man.
So this is one of those bittersweet things where I'm like so happy for Jerry to be able to go and enjoy his grandchildren and his well-earned retirement. But I'm so incredibly sad that he's going to be finished being the principal at Great Works School at the end of this school year. This was a really hard decision for Jerry. I know he formally retired 3 years ago and has come back. So it's not a retirement, but it really is a retirement. Like, he is finally, I think, going to go and enjoy his retirement after 47 years of service, which is just remarkable.
Oh my gosh.
And he's he's just gonna leave a huge hole
Yeah.
for all of us, so. I
Yeah.
just wanted to let you all know that publicly. We are not gonna cry here in this meeting. We can clap for Jerry.
Yay. Wow.
We need to select some summer board meeting dates.
One in July, one in August.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, can we, I didn't bring a calendar, can we come back to that, or?
Sure, do you guys wanna take a look? I mean, typically
We throw out a couple and then
Yeah.
see if they work.
You guys wanna throw some on the
Typically, we want the
table?
August one to be not super early in the month, but early enough that we can deal with any last minute sort of teacher approval.
Hiring,
Hiring
yep.
approval, kind of thing.
That
So
is the big sticking point is.
Typically, week of August 17th-ish.
I'm for sure gone the 5th through the 16th of August, if I'm reelected.
Yeah, pretty sure that's it.
Unopposed, Jeff.
So the week of the 17th, I'm available.
The 19th,
So
August 19th.
possibly August
Yes.
9th, and this is of course subject to go back and review your calendars, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And then, do we want to look at?
July.
July can be even trickier for people with
Yeah.
vacations
Yeah.
and time away and such. Do you have any thoughts about July?
What's usually a good timing? Like, when do we usually do it? I mean, obviously not the fourth week.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Um,
15 or 22.
15 or 22 is exactly
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
going to suggest.
Yeah, perfect. Maybe 22. When's our last meeting in June? The 17th?
I can't do the 22nd. I could probably more easily try to request the 15th
15?
Okay, let's try the
or even the 8th.
let's try the 15th.
July 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Works.
So can somebody maybe send
I'll ask
Rebecca a text and ask her if those dates work for her and we can confirm them when we meet next?
Will do.
Is that okay?
Were one of those dates going to include our board workshop as well?
Our
We
goals
talked
are-
about,
The
We
goal
would.
setting, strategic planning,
yeah,
Yes.
yes, okay.
which is a perfect segue into my next topic.
Yeah.
So we have been talking throughout the course of the last several months about needing to revisit our strategic plan, really that it feels like it's definitely time to have some deeper conversations with all of our different stakeholders and start that strategic planning process. So we started that process initially this week with some data gathering. We began by surveying staff. Staff is filling out the Panorama staff survey over this week and probably the next couple weeks. Similarly, by the end of the year, we will do the student survey and the parent survey. So at least we'll have some raw data to bring to all of you as one aspect of that strategic planning process. So that is the update on a little bit that we just got started on.
Would you all be open to the idea of doing a workshop in each of those July and August meetings?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Put it all in.
Cover that.
Yes. Use our time.
How will the community be accessed for surveys? Emails or in the mail or?
It'll be email.
Email.
Yep, it's an anonymous survey through email. There's like a code that people will get in their email and it'll invite them to click the link to take the survey. They enter the code and then,
Okay.
yeah, it's great. And then what's nice about using the Panorama product as our baseline is it's nationally normed. So when we look at that data, you know, if it's like, oh, you know, 89% of our students feel safe at school. Is that good? Is that bad? You know,
yeah.
it gives us those norming metrics that we can compare against to kind of get a sense of what our strengths and weaknesses are, which is super helpful. So then I think, you know, as part of that conversation, and this is just something for us to think about as a group, like what do we want the elements to be, right? We have the surveying tool, but you know, what are the appropriate ways for the community to be involved? Do we want to do some focus groups? Do we want to have some other touch points for people that are interested in being engaged at a deeper level? So think about that. Yeah.
Dr. Arkelian, are you available both of those dates? Okay, yeah, that's a really good question. Okay, just to confirm,
Awesome.
okay.
Excellent. So that is all I have. I will turn it over to you, Ms. Zora.
Thank you. I will start with the overall report, and then afterwards, if you'd like me to kind of I didn't realize how long it was when I was writing it, I guess. But I'll summarize it if you want, or I can just answer questions, whatever you like. So it's finally spring, and you can tell because teams are actually outside and not running in the halls, which is really, really wonderful. And I think, it's great seeing everybody kind of be in the sun and like laughing and hanging out and getting back to their sports. We've had, I think, all of our teams compete in some type of scrimmage within like the past 3 days. Tennis, boys varsity, had a scrimmage against Thornton Academy. Softball played against Noble for the girls team. The girls lacrosse team had a scrimmage against Wells yesterday, I believe. And then tomorrow, tennis, boys varsity is playing against Kennebunk. Tennis girls varsity is playing against Kennebunk here at 4, if anybody's interested. And then boys lacrosse is playing here also at 4. And girls varsity is playing for softball is playing at Scarborough at 4:30. And then I also wanted to note that the Marshwood track team got to host a bunch of middle schoolers today, which was honestly like amazing for like the kids and for our team. And it was great seeing how everybody worked together. And I wrote something down. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, the athletes really loved getting the opportunity to share what they know and build a bit of an athletic relationship with the middle school. And I'd almost encourage the other teams to kind of reach out and do that as well, because it was just like, it was so wholesome. It was so sweet. It was great seeing the kids who are going to be coming up next year, and they kind of get a leg in the door, which is great. Yeah. And then spring also comes with a couple very large events. We've got prom for my class, which a lot of kids are very, very, very excited about. That's like the buzz that you hear through the entire junior class. And I know the upperclassmen, seniors are getting ready for their senior activities, and every single day you hear about some new kid who has officially committed to their college or to whatever they're doing afterwards, and it's great to see everybody decide what they're going to do after high school. And spring break is coming up, which means lots and lots of amazing, wonderful opportunities, school-sponsored trips, and I think everybody's really excited for those as well. And then the last thing I want to note is that AP testing is on its final push to the finish line soon, so we've got like 3 more weeks or something, and I think that that's like a little bit of stress with students, but the teachers are so great at helping study. And it's definitely a good group to do the AP testing with, so, yeah.
Thank you.
And then if anybody, do you want me to summarize it, or?
Sure, please.
Let's see. So, I'm trying to summarize a lot of stuff. The majority of it is just that there's a significant amount of kids who, I think, at least from the kids who got polled, if they want to take AP testing, they're kind of like committed to taking AP testing, so they kind of have to shoulder the cost either way. A lot of it's like very driven kids who either they'll pay it themselves or they'll find a way to have their family pay it. But I think that they kind of demonstrated, and some of the data kind of demonstrates that it would take like a bit of a burden off of the kids. And I know that we already have some program, I've been told, in place that supports kids if their household income is like below a specific margin. But it's worth considering that there's times where like the parents can like meet it, but it's not really like, there's some barrier that might not be represented by data that gets in the way. And then there's also good to consider that a lot of colleges are moving towards AP testing and away from standardized testing. And there's kind of been a swing back and forth on the pendulum recently. But I think that there's some significant studies that show that AP testing does a better job at representing like a specific skill set that the student's interested in, rather than like the SAT is just like a very broad overview of everything.
Zora, can I ask just a clarifying question for the people who maybe didn't
Yeah.
get your email. Give us a little bit of context. Was this a project for a class or just something you did on your own?
I did this on my own because I'm taking 4 AP tests and I work outside like during the summer and everything, so I help just like my parents would pay it but it's like a lot of money. So I pay for some of it, but it's not unmanageable for me, but I definitely know some kids who I think would do so well in AP testing, and it would be such a great way for them to kind of demonstrate how capable they are. But I think that for one reason or another, money can get in the way sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Zora, I just have to give you huge props because
Yeah.
it's really well
Good for
organized,
you.
well written,
Yeah.
and
you.
like
Can we have that passed around?
Yeah.
Oh,
Share,
yeah.
email it to us maybe afterwards?
Okay,
or-
yeah.
Okay,
just
sorry.
email
I
it.
thought I sent it out, but
Oh, you.
I don't
It's
think
in the packet.
I might have sent it to
Oh, it's in our packet.
It's in your
Great,
packet.
Great.
Sorry.
Oh, it is?
right here.
I didn't see it.
Oh,
Anyway,
sorry, I didn't dig
it's
down
very
that far.
long. You don't need to read through
Oh, yeah,
all
we
of
got
it.
it.
Oh my gosh, I
Thank
guess
you.
we got some credit for
Zora,
this or
because look how big
something.
it is, pie charts and all.
Thank you.
I just think that, Zora,
Wow.
you have continually stood in
Yes.
the role of advocate
Yes.
for your peers.
You have,
Yeah.
really,
And,
truly.
and you should be very proud of that.
Yes.
Good work.
And truly,
Wow.
like, filled the role of, like, a student member of the board here. Like, really, this is exactly what the board wants to hear from you. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Exemplifying student voice.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else?
Just that if any of you have the chance to read through and have any questions, like please email me. I'm willing to, beyond happy to answer anything.
Amazing.
This is great.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zora.
That concludes my report, Mr. Long.
Okay, thank you. No correspondence upon which to report, so we'll get into the report of the committees. Finance and Facilities met earlier this evening. I'll run the numbers, and Heather will provide the update on all the other stuff. We're still in good shape financially. Expenditures and revenues, the gap between those two is closing. We're still, in terms of general cash, we're still above the threshold that we like to be above for feeling good about getting through the month. We're a little bit, our expenditure budget remaining is a little bit higher than the 25% that we expected to be at. It's like 25.16, so it's very close. Adult education, we've gotten the last payment from Kidry on that now, so we're at a positive 56K, and that'll spend down to zero between now and the end of the year. School nutrition is essentially flat over the past few months. Federal grants are coming in. Okay, that's, I think, is that all of it? Yes, that was all of it. So that's the numbers. We're still in very good health, right where we want to be at this time of year.
Yes, yes. So in terms of facilities, at the middle school, we're still working on that sewer project. Their conversations are still continuing. We're working on getting a grant proposal submitted by Friday, April 17th, to the DEP for $1 million. It's basically a principal forgiveness loan that would kind of just put us at owing as a district $584,500 around in terms of the project for the sewer, and then so anyway, so that's in the works, and hopefully we'll get that grant. I bet we will. So in terms of safety improvements, we have installed televisions in the main offices of the high school, middle school, and the 2 elementary schools. These will cycle through the outdoor cameras, and like letting our staff keep an eye on the outside of our buildings, and the doors near the, to the outside. And we're piloting an email system that the elementary school, the central elementary school, will be utilizing. Just basically, it will send an email notification if a specific door is opened, and that email can be looked at by the principal. So we're just kind of seeing how that works out, and then maybe implement that at the other schools. But for right now, we've just enhanced that security within the schools. So maybe you've noticed driving by the middle school some pretend coyotes out there in the field. Well, it's because of the fecal matter that the Canadian geese are leaving on those fields, and it's just causing some problems. So the facilities team has popped out a few decoy coyote cutouts, and it seems to be working really well to deter the birds from landing. So very good.
We've actually had phone calls from people driving by.
They look very realistic.
They're really funny.
Also,
Wow.
I
haven't been by.
Yeah, so it seems to be working.
Are they in the front? I have to go.
No, they're in the field there, so very low cost to those, so that's, yeah. So environmentally friendly and everything. Wonderful. So in terms of the air conditioner we've mentioned before at the high school, we needed to install a new system, but that's going to be starting beginning of June. So in the meantime, we'll have some portable air conditioners to keep those spaces cool during that transition time. Transportation updates. We're continuing to look at a space close to the schools in South Berwick to house our fleet of buses. More to come in the time as it evolves. Food service, we have a lovely new vending machine upstairs in the entryway sort of at the high school. And so the idea about that is that there will be students can use their lunch codes to purchase full healthy meals. They're not in there yet, so if you go check, they're not there. They will be after vacation, and there's also some snacks. So students can either pay for those extra snacks or use their lunch code to get their meal, which is free of charge. So there's no cost to the students to get that extra meal. So that will be available. So it's a very nice, beautiful machine up there, and I'm sure it will get utilized much. So all set.
Great.
Thanks, Heather.
Questions? Okay. Ed Policy will next meet on April 29th. And Wellness SEL will next meet on April 29th. So we'll have a lot of reports at the meeting subsequent to that date. That concludes the report of the committees and brings us to new business. Can I have a motion, please, with regard to the use of our transportation by South Berwick Rec?
I move to approve the use of MSAD 35's transportation by the South Berwick Recreation Department for the attached list of trips.
Second, Heather.
Heather, thank you.
We do this every year.
Yeah, yeah, it's on the back
That's
page.
a good thing.
Yeah,
Here's the list of the trips.
awesome.
Comments or questions? All in favor? Okay, that's 5-0. Thank you. Motion, please, with regard to the second read and adoption on FF.
I move to approve the second reading of adoption of policy FF, naming new and existing facilities.
I'll second, Kate.
Okay, thank you. No changes from the first read. We're all clear on what this is about. We talked about it in our last meeting. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It's 5-0. Good. We have a new policy in place. Motion, please, with regard to an agreement between MSAD 35 and Rollinsford for pre-K special education services.
I move to approve the agreement between MSAD 35 and Rollinsford School District for pre-K special education services.
I'll second, Lisa.
Lisa? Okay. That agreement is in your packet.
So that's an
You all
addendum.
had a chance to read it.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward. There's a price that was determined by the most scientific methods, I'm sure.
It's really just a kind of
Yep.
an extension of what we already do.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the contract. Comments or questions? All in favor? Okay, that's 5-0.
I should get you the signed one.
Yes, I have a copy. Ryan, is this a signable copy in my packet?
I believe Mr. Rooney has a copy that's already signed by Rollinsford.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, wait,
nice.
I'll get it.
I can buy. Very good, thank you. Building administrator check-in. We have the Evergrades, please.
Okay, good evening. So we've had our students out and about lately. So on Thursday, April 2nd, the sixth graders celebrated Iditarod Day. And I don't know if I mentioned that Tammy Schaaf did get Teacher on the Trail for the 2027 year, so we're very excited. So she'll go off to Alaska for probably a month or so.
Wow.
We're very excited, and so to celebrate that, they do this annually. Students heard from a real musher from Team Snow Speeder and met her dogs, built their own sleds using recyclable material from Ruth's Recyclables, and participated in a timed dog mushing simulator race. The 7th grade students traveled, okay, so that's what they did on, so they had a speaker come in with their whole mushing sled and everything. It was really cool. And got to meet her dogs. So then the 7th grade students traveled back in time to the Industrial Revolution during their visit to down in Lowell, at the Industrial Center. The Lowell Mills were the epicenter of the textile production in the late 1800s. Students participated in hands-on activities including harnessing hydroelectric power and operating a loom. Awesome. They also observed authentic machinery from the time when the mills were in full operation. National Park Service guides led student groups through several of the historic buildings, each highlighting different aspects of life during that era. Students learned about how turbines worked, the dangers of working in mills, and the life during the times in the mills. The Lowell Center also offered a variety of free educational activities for visitors for all ages. On the 6th of April, a group of our students also participated in the Kittery Marshwood Art Collaborative, a partnership between Kittery Schools and Marshwood Schools. Students selected one of 3 art classes: pottery, bookbinding, junk journaling, or zine making. Where they learned new techniques and created original work. Hosted at the Kittery Community Center, the program provides select students with the opportunity of collaborating with their peers while engaging in creative experiences. And then on Tuesday, the 7th grade team is really knocking it out of the park with all of their speakers. On Tuesday, the 7th, U.S. Representative Shelley Pingree met with the Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Rowe's 7th grade class via Zoom. The students asked the Congresswoman a wide range of questions in their Zoom call, and she was as impressed with the students' insight as the students were with her thoughtful replies. The students learned about the U.S. representative's backstory and how she went from everyday students in a town of 400 people to one of 435 U.S. representatives in the country. So we are very thankful to the Representative Pingree for joining them. And then the 6th grade band went down to Great Works for a brief concert for the 5th grade students and the staff at Great Works School. So my students and staff have been very busy, and we have our STEAM Day on Friday, so if anyone's interested, please come down. We're going to be busy all day. We are going to have lots of visitors come in for speakers, and the students are making catapults, and the other 6th grade are working on their sleds that they've made for Iditarod Day, so you are more than welcome to come and join us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening. Always a pleasure to stand up and represent the faculty and students of Marshwood High School and all the good work they're doing, which you've heard a lot about that already this evening, so I can just really add on to that. So in no particular order, you mentioned the new vending machine. The snacks are in the vending machine. It's ready to go. I think, although we tried it with some codes and maybe it wasn't working, maybe we couldn't quite follow the directions, but it's ready to go.
We're getting there.
So don't worry, it'll be fine. Shifting gears, just that you, some updates on one thing we are doing as a school. We have a York County Administrators Working Group around health and tobacco and marijuana and vaping. And we had a discussion last month on a Zoom call about resources and things we can help our students with. In our building, the vast majority of our students aren't affected by tobacco and marijuana, but some are. And for those students, trying to find those supports for them, trying to find those cessation activities for them. Chelsea Farrington is our connection through Maine Health, and she came to talk with our 10th grade health classes. and has more resources we can throw to our students as well. So we're always trying to do those two things, which is to recognise and to see what we need to, but also to have support for our students who are struggling with, at such a young age, such a problematic aspect of addiction. Well, shifting gears again. What's been happening at the school? We have the spring play coming up. We just had the musical. I want to share just a brief story if I could. I was talking to Miss Whalen about the musical, and I was making fun of the fact we chose a Sondheim musical because I'm a Neanderthal when it comes to music. And I was like, why are you doing Sondheim? Can't you do something accessible? And she said, a great thing she said, what I wanted to do for that company was I wanted them to do something that was hard and to show they could. And if you saw it, it was excellent. Those folks did a fantastic job, and it's such a great attitude to have amongst our students that yes, you can do something which is really hard. Sondheim is a play that goes backward in chronology. It's hard, but it's great, it's fantastic. And yeah, also please come out and see the spring play, which is a really long title which has mastodons in it. It's going to be good as well. We had a Future You Day last month where we had every grade do different things, for freshmen, sophomores, juniors and seniors, learning about different aspects of preparation for the next stages of their life. We had an alumni panel for our freshmen. We had a financial fitness fair for our sophomores where they got to walk around and actually think about, oh, I have to buy a car. What's the insurance? Oh, can I also rent somewhere? Who am I going to live with? It's fun to talk to them about the choices they've made about, I think I'm going to have a car, but I won't have a place to live, but I'll rent somehow somewhere, and don't worry, I'll be fine. They worked their way through it on the game day. It was fantastically organised by our council department. And we had a panel which also included some of our alumni, some actual teachers here talking about the paths they've gone on, and a scholarship information fair for our seniors as well. So it's a great thing that our counselling department put on for our students. And when we come back, they have a Senior Aspirations Week, which is ending in May 1st, which again is that's usually the time where we can celebrate the journey that our students are on, so whether they're going to college or career or to the military. A chance through that week back to have some celebrations and spirit weeks and dress-up days, but also just a general celebration of those choices and those pathways that our students are on, just to make sure our students really feel the sense of accomplishment they have and how much we as a school have a pride in what they have done as well. Well, you met Riley earlier. It was my privilege to have both breakfast and lunch with 5 of our Sanford students. Riley and Rowan and Esme and Asa and Connor, 3 of whom were nominated for SRTC Student of the Year. Asa you heard about, who won a gold medal. Riley, who was so articulate. And so great for me to be able to go over to Sanford and see the program, to have breakfast and lunch with those kids. The food's really good because they have a culinary program, so it's nice as well. But it's just great to let those students know that they're not they're Marshwood students who attend Sanford. We take their accomplishments very seriously, and we're very proud of everything that they do. Last 2 things, yes, May 1st is prom, so if you're a junior at our high school, check your email. They've got 2 more days to buy tickets, I believe. So looking forward to everyone turning up and having a great time on Friday, May the 1st. And also just letting people know that obviously in June we're getting towards our senior celebrations, so please mark on your calendars. June 8th will be our senior awards night. And so I believe that'll be at the Performing Arts Centre, so an invitation to be sent out. We'll be recognising our top 10 graduates, our honours graduates, and handing out our Director's Book Awards within each content area, so that is June 8th, and then graduation June 12th. So commencing at 6 o'clock on the stadium field. I am reliably informed it is going to be a beautiful day, with no rain, no clouds, and we'll celebrate this 160 odd students together on that Friday evening, so please come on to graduation on Friday, June the 12th. And with that, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Last thoughts from the board? In which case I will...
Just one just quick comment, just a reminder, I'm not here on the 29th. Just a reminder, just hoping everybody else can make it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, missing all kinds of meetings that day, including this one, so.
Anything else? I will accept a motion to adjourn. Someone wants to make that?
I'll move to adjourn.
I second.
Heather, all in favor? That's 5-0, and we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, everyone.